The Florida Podcast Network, the voice of Florida. This is episode 14A of the Finding Florida podcast on the Florida Podcast Network, Holiday Magic Preview.
Welcome to Finding Florida, the podcast that takes you from country to the coast. Join your tour guides, an unlikely pair, city girl Jaime and country boy Glenn, as they explore the amazing sights and sounds of the Sunshine State.
Thank you for joining us on this very special lead up to our 14th adventure of the Finding Florida podcast. This time around, we are bringing you a whole lot of Florida holiday magic.
So all the audio from our own adventure full of holiday magic will be on the next episode, 14B, out in a couple of weeks after we've had a chance to really get into the season ourselves.
That's right. We're going to revisit with our friends at the Bonnet House, check out some sweet treats for the holidays. We are?
Yeah, we really are. We are. Right up your alley, Glenn.
You're I like welcome. This. Serendipity Dessert Restaurant. That is right up my alley.
It might as well just be called Glenn's Heaven.
Yes. And we're going to find Santa at his enchanted forest and so much more.
But all of that happens in a couple of weeks, so we don't have any quick clips for you ready just yet, but be sure to tune in when that episode comes out, 14B.
I could make eating cake noises if that would be good.
Nom, 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 nom. Speaking of eating noises, first we have to get through Thanksgiving. And with that comes a special annual event that Glenn and I are gearing up for called Horse Radio Network's Annual Radiothon. So stay tuned for details on that.
And this preview episode is going to be a little bit different. Just because we are in Florida, the Sunshine State, doesn't mean we don't know how to get in the spirit of things for Christmas. You know, we have palm trees. They're lit.
They are lit.
We wanted to give you some ideas of the kind of fun you can have here in Florida for the holidays, which is a favorite time of the year for many of us. We'll be talking to representatives from 3 different visitor bureaus, 2 places that we haven't even been to yet.
I know. What's wrong with us?
St Augustine and Pensacola. Mm-hmm. St Augustine is so pretty, too. I can't wait to... You've never been there, right?
I went on a school trip in, 7th grade, so
you've never been there.
No.
Yeah. If there's a place Jemmy's been where she hasn't been to a bar, she hasn't been there.
Pensacola, I have definitely been to.
And also one place that seems to love us so much, and they're coming back to talk to us a little bit about the holiday spirit in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But even if you're not from any of those places, we'll give you some ideas of things you can go and see and do here in the great state of Florida.
Yes, and then we'll get into a whole bunch of other fun Florida holiday stuff, introducing you to our first double dose of our list fix, Great Gifts by Floridians versus Goofy Gifts for Floridians. Now, Great Gifts by Floridians will be our inaugural short list of great gifts that are made right here in Florida and are perfect for the holidays. And in Goofy Gifts for Floridians, we'll go through some funny items I found around the internet that may just be the perfect alternative or passive-aggressive gift for your Floridian friends. So you'll want to stay tuned through this entire episode for all of that Florida holiday fun for sure. Listen in.
In this first ever Finding Florida Special Holiday Magic Preview episode, we couldn't get into the holiday spirit without first talking about the joy that is traveling around Thanksgiving and Christmas in our great state.
Yeah, right.
Give you kind of an idea of which are the busiest days around the holidays.
Oh, this is good for anyone who's planning their travel.
So the trade group Airlines for America found that the heaviest days for holiday travel were December 21st, 22nd, and 26th, while Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve were the lightest. So if you don't care about seeing your family in the morning on Christmas Day, fly then. And you'll be fine. You know, I was surprised that the average flight delay is only 37 minutes in December, which surprised me a little bit.
It really did surprise me, too.
Yeah, I thought it'd be 6 hours.
It feels like it.
So the busiest airports around the country, 2 of ours made the top 15 list. Ooh. And that's Orlando, ranked number 9 overall, and Miami is number 12 for holiday travel. Orlando does well in terms of retail and dining options, though. Did you realize there are 74 little shops to shop at and 67 restaurants at the Orlando airport? Christmas Day is the busiest day at Magic Kingdom. It usually reaches capacity by 11 o'clock in the morning and they close the gates. You can't get in. So between 11 and 6, you will not get in.
I have never even heard of anybody going to Magic Kingdom on Christmas. I didn't know that was a thing.
We made the mistake of going to Magic Kingdom once between Christmas and New Year's. It was like a couple days after Christmas. It was crazy insane.
Wow.
It's their busiest week of the year, and they literally run out of parking spaces at all the parks, period.
Wow.
And they said, it was so funny, when you take a look at the advice for that day, they say, do not plan on riding any rides.
Just plan on looking at them, and that's about it.
That's it. You're never going to get on the ride.
Oh, man. But, well, Disney isn't the only Florida destination that's well worth the hassle of travel. Every place in Florida really is. And we're about to find out about 3 of those places by talking to 3 reps from around the state. We just caught up with Margaret Wallace of Visit St. Augustine, Nicole Stacy of Visit Pensacola, and our old buddy Kevin Witrowski of Visit Tampa Bay to find out some of the fun holiday events you can check out in those towns. First up, Margaret from St. Augustine.
Well, we have on here now Margaret Wallace. She is in St. Augustine, and Margaret's going to help us decide what to do on the holidays in St. Augustine. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Now, you're with Visit St. Augustine. What do you do with them?
So I handle our partnerships. So I keep our advertisers happy. I think of ways that we can collaborate with media partners such as you guys and kind of just try to showcase the best of what our city has to offer.
That's terrific. And we want to showcase what you have to offer over the holidays here. And when I said I was getting you on, Jemmy right away said, she better talk about the lights.
Well, I mean, first off, thank you for, and everything you do for St. Augustine. Thank you for going through the extensive calendar because there is so much to do in the holidays. I'm sure just picking out these few things that in of itself was probably a task. So thank you so much. And I'm so glad, yes, that the Night of Lights is on the list. It's very exciting to see that.
Oh, yeah, that's our pleasure. And yeah, I can't avoid talking about the lights this time of year. There's millions of them, and they just make our city's historic architecture that much more beautiful and enjoyable. So glad you guys appreciate those. And yeah, all of these events we're going to talk about take place with the backdrop of the city, these beautiful lights. So even just coming and walking around this time is great. Yeah.
Talk about the Nights of Lights then.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to see them.
Oh, absolutely. So my favorite way to see them is by water. There are a bunch of boat tours that go on in the city after sundown so that you can see the entire city lit up from the Matanzas Inlet. Absolutely gorgeous. There's also great trolley tours that are offered this time of year, so that's a great way to get from point A to point B around the city and take in the lights. Some of them even offer fun little glasses that make the lights look like snowflakes or Santa Claus shapes. So kids and families really love those. And then even one of my favorite ways is just walking or biking around the city. We're very pedestrian friendly, so great to take everything in by foot.
Now, are the lights spread throughout the city or just on the waterfront side? And do they put any lights on the fort?
So no Christmas lights strung on the fort, but the fort is lit up at night. I know, that would be so cool.
It would be cool.
But the entire historic district participates. The Plaza de la Constitucion is the big focus for lights. All of these beautiful live oaks are strung with lights, and the big Christmas tree display is right in the center of the city there. But so many of the businesses in the historic district take part, especially the ones along the bayfront. That entire bayfront is shining on the water this time of year. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Now, Jimmy mentioned you could see him by helicopter?
I didn't know for sure. I just saw that you can see them from the air. I'm like, ooh, is that from helicopter? What do they mean? Because he's been trying to get me on a helicopter for a long time.
I've never been up. That would be so much fun. We do have several different tours by air. Another really cool one that's offered from the St. Augustine Regional Airport is the biplane tour. So that's an amazing opportunity for photos and taking in the city from a completely different vantage point. Really I've never had the opportunity to do that one, but it sounds absolutely magical.
I've been in a lot of airplanes, little airplanes, but never a biplane where your head's sticking out. I've never done that. That would be a trip.
So cool.
You feel like Indiana Jones.
Right? Definitely an adventure.
Well, yeah, the lights look absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the way that they do accent the architecture, because that is something that St. Augustine is, famous for. It's a historic town. Let's talk a little bit about how historic St. Augustine is and how the lights really accent that.
So we have amazing Spanish colonial architecture in our city. And you mentioned the fort. We do have the oldest masonry fort in the United States in St. Augustine. So you really kind of feel like you're stepping back in time in our historic district. We have those gorgeous, brick paved streets, a tradition of horse-drawn carriage rides through the city as well. So you kind of get those horse hooves clacking on the
right up Glenn's alley.
Brick paved streets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Absolutely. But the other great thing is we have the bay right in our historic district. So we have the water there, and a lot of the boats that dock in the Matanzas Inlet will participate in the light displays as well. So that's kind of my personal favorite, seeing the sailboats that have Christmas lights hanging from their rigging as if they were sails. And we can dive right into one of the events that I had mentioned to highlight for our holiday events in St. Augustine is called the Regatta of Lights. And that's a parade that takes place every year. This year it's on December 8th, just right after sundown. It starts at 6 o'clock. And all of the boats line up and do a parade through the bay with their beautiful light displays. So really cool thing to kind of sit on the historic bayfront with some of that Spanish colonial architecture silhouetted behind you and just take in a gorgeous display of lights right out on the water where you people would have sailed into St. Augustine, hundreds of years ago.
December 8th is when that is.
Right. December 8th starts at 6 o'clock. A lot of those boats will remain docked in the bay throughout Nights of Lights. So it's always fun to come see those.
Yeah. And so far, both of these two events I noticed are free. So the whole local community or any visitors can come out, and this is a free event. So it's really something cool to do with the family.
Exactly. It's always free to walk around in the historic district. You can just find a good spot to sit anywhere out there to watch the Regatta of Lights on December 8th. So definitely a great time to bring the entire family down and do a great free holiday activity.
And then if you want to pay $30, you can drink your way through.
Yeah, you go from Night of Lights to Night of Pints and really play it up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you want to have a little beer to keep warm, Nights of Pints is the perfect thing to do this time of year. They started this last year, and it was so much fun. And I think we've got some people in town who are really excited to collect those T-shirts for Nights of Pints. The way that it works is you pay at one of our 4 breweries. We've got 4 breweries in town now, which is awesome. We have Ancient City Brewery, their tap room downtown. We have Bog Brewing. We have Old Coast Ales. And we have Dog Rose Brewing. So all 4 of these breweries, you go to one of them, you pay your $30. They give you a cool Nights of Pints T-shirt that has our historic city gates on it this year. So cool little souvenir comes with it too. And then they also give you a little passport. So as you're walking around the city taking in the lights, you can stop in any of those 4 breweries and show your passport, and they'll give you a free pint. So fun little opportunity, especially for beer enthusiasts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
good way to try all our breweries.
Yeah, craft beer is really becoming such a big thing, and it's really trending right now. And to see all the craft brewers able to come together and work together and put on something that's so cool like that with the city is really, really neat. That's really awesome.
Now, so super proud. Yeah.
So it does run. It looks like from November 17th through February 3rd, but it's not that you pay $30 and you get your pass for the entire season. It's $30 every night that you want to do it, right? But you still would get a pint at every.
Look at you,
spot.
the alcoholic talking.
I'm
there.
just trying to understand, and it's a legitimate question. I don't want people, misunderstanding.
She wants those 4 pints every night.
No, actually, so the way it works, you get your passport, and you don't have to go to all 4 breweries in one night. You can you can buy your passport on the 17th. And drink your first beer the 17th, and then drink your last beer the night that Nights of Lights ends, February 3rd.
See, it's not that I'm trying to be an alcoholic, Glenn. I'm trying to spread it out. See, you took it the wrong way. You took it the wrong way.
Yeah, you can spread it out, or go for all 4 in one night. Go for the Nights of Pints challenge.
The Nights of Pints challenge. I like it. Oh man, I
have tons of tour companies I can offer to drive you that night if you want to have all 4 in one night. It's no problem.
All right, where can people find all this information? Visit Augustine.com?
Visit staugustine.com. If you click through to our events calendar, you'll find everything you need. And we've got a great Nights of Lights topic page as well. So visit staugustine.com. You'll find everything you need to know about the holidays in St. Augustine.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, you cannot talk about the holidays without talking about the magic of Pensacola. Pensacola is such a beautiful town, which I've only visited once, and I can't wait to take the show back there, for our first adventure visit there. But we have Nicole on the line from Pensacola. So tell us all about Pensacola. Nicole, hello, how are you?
Hi, we're good. How are you guys?
Great. So you're from Visit Pensacola, correct?
I am. I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for Visit Pensacola. And, even though the temperature's cooling down, we just have so much going on and so much adventure for you to come and experience in our area. And the holidays is a perfect time to do that.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So tell us about the Winterfest. Let's start there. That sounds like a great place to kick off the holidays.
Yeah, and so really Winterfest kicks off now. So it's kicking off in November, and it's just this whole celebration of Christmas and holiday, whether it's, the reindeer parade or the elf performances or just different times with Santa and storytelling. They've got all kinds of different tours and performances and story times, and it's just so much going on all day, every day, through Christmas, through New Year's, and they kind of take over downtown Pensacola to tell this beautiful, magical story about the holidays that everyone knows and loves so much.
Awesome. And there's something on here that's part of it that's right up Glenn's alley. So Glenn was an actor for many years. He did improv and stuff, right? And so they have as part of their holiday memory tour, it looks like they're actual live performers doing different scenes or something?
Yeah, so they do a whole schedule of different performances. So they'll do Nutcracker pieces, they'll do elf parades, they'll do elf performances, they'll do a Santa performance. So there's always something going on, and it all ties back to the Christmas holiday spirit that families can enjoy, kids can come out and enjoy. It's all free. Some of their tours do have minimal costs, but for the majority, all of these events are free. So it's a great way for your family just to get out and experience Pensacola if you've never been here, or if you do live here, another reason to come downtown and just enjoy the places that we get to call home.
Yeah, this looks pretty amazing. This looks like a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. And so you sent us some information about the City of Lights Festival. It looks like this is the first one you guys are doing?
So we've actually done this for a couple of years, and it kind of just incorporates into the whole Winterfest thing, kicking off the holidays. This is actually where they light up all of downtown Pensacola. So there's thousands and thousands and thousands of twinkle lights throughout the streets of Palafox, and that's our main downtown street. And it just kind of livens it up at night. So the kickoff for that is actually on Black Friday. They'll do a big festival. They'll light up the lights as soon as it gets dark. And it just becomes this beautiful, beautiful scenery of downtown Pensacola that we know and love it. We're down there all the time. But when you see it all lit up, it's just this like magical, warm, like, oh, Christmas is coming. I can't wait. The holidays are here. You kind of forget about the cold temperatures and just start to really enjoy everything we have to offer.
Because I'm thinking about the chaos that is usually how Black Friday looks around me here in Southeast Florida. It's like total chaos. And I'm imagining how, the warm lights, the twinkle lights coming up and kind of everyone stopping and pausing and going, oh, the holidays.
Yeah, I always say, I'm like, okay, it's crazy, and you've been up for hours and hours on Black Friday. So come downtown, grab yourself some hot cocoa, or grab yourself a cocktail, and just enjoy them lighting up the street. This beautiful, it's just so pretty. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, we have to go down there. If nothing else, we have to get a photo and just see what's going on. And there's already so much going on in downtown Pensacola, it just makes sense.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but lights are lights, and lights is lights, but you have parachuting Santa Clauses. So, I mean,
I was waiting for that to come into the comments.
Yeah, you have
it was going to drop in.
Parachuting Santa Clauses and cocktails. There's a party right there.
Yes. So the Floribama, which is a famous bar out on the state line, so it corners Florida and Alabama, and it's famous for songwriters and just for festivals and mullet tosses, which we could talk about on another day.
Oh
but
gosh.
They have in December.
Wait a minute. Did you say mullet tosses?
No, mullet. The
Mullet.
fish. Mullet.
Oh, that's good.
Oh gosh. Okay. See, I forgot there was a fish called a mullet, and I'm thinking of like
we both went with the guy's mullets, and we go,
and then you can throw it for
I'm like,
in the
wow.
summertime in May.
the mullet wig producer must love you guys. Gotcha. Mullet the fish. Okay, now I got it.
But Santa pops out of a parachute on December 8th. It's a free event right out on the beach, right behind the Floribama. And he comes down out of an airplane with a parachute on. So it's like, okay, we usually think of Santa coming out of a sleigh with his reindeer and going
super
down
peaceful.
the chimney. But now it's Santa flying into the air on the beach.
Oh my gosh, just cool Santa.
Yeah.
This ain't your mama Santa.
He's the coolest.
That's awesome.
You guys have a big Air Force base there, and it gives them a place. It gives all of the soldiers that are stationed there and their families something really cool to do in town, too.
Absolutely. We are home to the Blue Angels, and we definitely love our military community, and we love inviting the families out and just getting them involved, too. I know there's quite a few Blue Angels that have boats of their own, and they like to put those in the parades as well and just come and enjoy it because it's an opportunity. They're off. They're home.
Yeah.
Please tell me they're covered in lights. Please tell me they're covered in lights and their boats are weaving in and out. And
he gets to ride one when he gets in town.
But we could definitely get something worked out for you.
And they participate in the parade, too. Don't you guys have a parade?
We do. Pensacola has several Christmas parades. We have one on Pensacola Beach. We have one in downtown Pensacola. And they do participate. They love their Pensacola community. They love just being a part of it. And as I say that, they're actually flying by right now where I am.
Really?
It's crazy. They must have known we were talking
Hold
about
the mic
them.
up to the window real quick.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So it's just a way, again, for people to get out and enjoy themselves. We get candy. We throw beads. It's fun. I mean, we love a good parade. We have Mardi Gras in February. Pensacola is a festival town. So there's always something going on here.
Well, we're looking forward to making a trip there at some point, heading over there. And the first thing everybody from the eastern part of Florida needs to know is that, yes, they're in a different time zone, apparently. So
they're in a different time zone. And your beaches are gorgeous.
They're so far west.
Thank you. We do pride ourselves on our beaches. We may be a little biased, but we think we have the world's best beaches with our crystal clear blue water and the beautiful white sand. It doesn't get much better than this.
Just check your watches, double check your watches if you're meeting somebody there.
We'll put links to everything in the show notes today. And also you can go to visitpensacola.com and find they have a great website. You can find all of the details. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole. This holiday season, why not give the gift that keeps giving back? Little Smiles is a South Florida nonprofit organization that helps heal hearts and create little smiles by providing necessities, gifts, and fun activities to children impacted by serious illness, homelessness, or tragedy. And now through December 25th, you can donate to Little Smiles' 9th annual Little Smiles Toy Drive. Every year, Little Smiles seeks to break the boundaries of their mission to help every child in need during the holiday season. And this year's efforts have officially kicked off. Little Smiles has become the main source to many Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Broward County nonprofit organizations, collecting thousands of toys from more than 300 locations and donating them to kids who would not have holiday gifts otherwise. The Little Smiles North Pole is now open to collect toys and receive your donations. Visit littlesmilesfl.org for more information on the toy drive, their upcoming Stars Ball event, volunteer opportunities, and how to support Little Smiles and local children in need. That's littlesmilesfl.org. littlesmilesfl.org. All right. Well, our next stop on this holiday adventure through Florida is to go to Pirate Town, Tampa Bay. I'm so excited to talk to Kevin Wojtrowski. We met him back when we did Florida Huddle. We did our trip around the state in one day, and he was kind enough to tell us all about Tampa Bay and then to host us as we went there on an early episode of the show. Go look that up on findingfloridapodcast.com. But Kevin joins us here today again to talk to us about the holidays in Tampa Bay. What's going on with the holidays, Kevin?
We are gearing up today. In fact, the holidays start today in Tampa Bay. I want to say I'm glad you guys survived the Riverwalk. I can't wait for you to come back and see that everything's going on. But
Kevin, I got to tell you, if somebody hasn't heard that, on the way back on the boat, we had walked the whole Riverwalk down to the end, and we took the boat back. She fell asleep.
No. I didn't fall asleep. That's giving me too much credit. I passed out. That's giving me way too much credit.
Well, we will not be quite so hard on everybody this time around. We are just starting the holidays this weekend. The 17th of November is when everything kicks off. The big thing that you'll find down on the Riverwalk now is an enormous tent with a full-size skating rink outside.
That is
It is incredible. It's an amazing production. We've had it for the last few years. And you can come down and rent some skates and hit the ice right down on the Riverwalk. You don't even have to change your clothes. You can come right out in your shorts and flip-flops.
Is it actual ice? Skates. Or is it a fake ice?
It is. It's real. It's real live ice.
Oh, wow.
And they've spent all week putting it together, layer upon layer upon layer. And it is real live, real cold, real hard.
Now, Glenn, you grew up in Pennsylvania, which is very, very cold. So I imagine you did a bunch of ice skating for the holidays.
Oh, no. Nope, not that coordinated.
Oh, okay. Well, at least that's a terrible excuse. My excuse was I grew up in Florida. I didn't have ice skating rinks like this. So this is really awesome. Man, kids today are so lucky. How big is this ice skating rink?
It's a full-size rink, just like you would find over at Amalie Arena. It's a lot of fun, and I tell you, all three of us, I grew up in Virginia, but I didn't skate much either. Putting anything between my feet and the ground is a bad idea.
Yeah, see? I'm not the only one.
Yeah, that's right. But I tell you, we have a lot of hockey fans in this town. We have a lot of people who actually do know how to skate, and they love watching your hockey fans.
There were multiple parades going on while we were over there. Walking along the river. Multiple parades for the hockey team. Absolutely.
Well, I always feel sorry for the real skaters when the Floridians take the ice, because we skate like we drive down here. So we are hazards on the move. The Winter Village is fantastic. We have, in addition to skating, we have a bunch of pop-up shops there on the Riverwalk where you can come and find that just the right gift for the holidays. We have our own shop, Visit Tampa Bay. We have our Unlock Visit Tampa Bay gift shop there, and with lots of cool Tampa-themed articles. So if you got your favorite Tampa Bay fan who lives out of town and might have missed that keepsake when they were here last, you can always find something cool to send over to them. There's hot chocolate and the whole thing. It's a great experience. We usually go down take my kids down once or twice during the winter because the thing runs all the way till the end of December. So it's fantastic. And this, with the weather being like it is currently, it should be perfect time to get out there.
Yeah, and some of the local attractions that you guys have there around Tampa and Tampa Bay area, you guys have, some of the bigger attractions are doing some really amazing holiday features as well. Busch Gardens, Florida Aquarium.
That's right.
There's so much going on around you guys right now.
There is. We kind of go crazy here for Christmas, and with Gasparilla coming in January, we find any excuse to dress up. So between Halloween and Gasparilla, it's just crazy times. And at Busch Gardens, you'll find Christmas Town. That has Rudolph and Abominable Snowman and Santa and great ice skating shows and performances of all sorts. And of course, a hot chocolate. You can't have Christmas without hot chocolate. So that's a fantastic experience.
And these are the Busch Gardens. They're the characters that are straight from that old-time television special, the Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's those characters, right? Those classic, that when you say the Abominable Snowman, it's the Abominable Snowman from that old claymation movie that everyone remembers when they were kids, right?
That's exactly right. Yukon Cornelius and the Bumble.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is he picking for gold every chance he gets?
Yeah, he is. Yes, I haven't seen this Bumble bounce, but I'm sure he does.
That's great.
And then at the Zoo Tampa does Christmas in the Wild, which is an evening event. So you can come in after the regular daytime event and meet a lot of the cool kind of Christmas animals up close. Yeah. Get your picture taken with those. And of course, Santa gets around. So Santa's there too. Santa's also at the aquarium. I don't know how he does it. He's everywhere at once. And the aquarium has the Florida Aquarium has a cool new 4D theater. They just opened a little while ago, and they're showing the Polar Express.
Oh, nice!
In 4D. So I guess that means you should bring a jacket and maybe your
what's 4D?
they throw snow on you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Throw you out the window of the train.
That's right. You get the full experience. You end up on a big giant tower of presents or something.
Well, that would be amazing. As long as they're not empty boxes, like the fake empty boxes you see at the department stores. I want real presents and throw me on that tower anytime.
Enormous giant Santa bag. Yeah, exactly that.
Of all we just did our 1-year anniversary, and of course we talked
congratulations.
about. Yeah, we had 77 stops we made last year.
Wow!
I think 70 of them were in Tampa in one day. But but I got to tell you, and we talked about this. Tampa was one of our favorite places to go. I love Tampa, and we're excited we're going to go back again. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
There's just so much going on, and it's so much different stuff going on for everybody. It's not just one type of thing.
Oh yeah, when we were going around there, it was like we figured out based on who we met and different conversations and random people we ran into, like 5 different other themes we could do in Tampa. It was crazy. There's a lot to do there in Tampa Bay.
That's I tell people all the time, you can travel the entire state, or you can just come here. Do it all in one spot.
There you go. There you go.
Save yourself the gas mileage.
Well, Tampa Bay sounds like a fantastic place to spend some holiday time. Where is the best place on the internet for people to find all this stuff?
Visit tampabay.com.
Perfect.
Well, we hope that you're jazzed about visiting some of the holiday attractions in St. Augustine, Pensacola, or Tampa Bay. And if you're not close to those towns, check out your local visitors bureau to see what's going on in your town. I know here in Ocala, we have a bunch of stuff.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, for example, I went ahead and checked out the South Florida Science Center and Aquarium down here by me in West Palm Beach after being a little bit inspired to see, okay, if there's stuff going on at the Florida Aquarium, what's going on down here around me? And they have a full schedule of holiday events and activities. It's called 'Tis the Season for Science. I'm really excited to take Jordan there to check it out because we were both science geeks and science. But in fact, we were watching a whole show for like 2 hours last night about space. So lots of stuff to do for the holidays. Go out and find out what you can get into this holiday season.
By the way, can we also just mention that when we were setting up these interviews, neither one of us realized that Pensacola is in a completely different time zone.
Yeah, we're so stupid.
I think I knew that at some point, but I don't.
Oh, Nicole, our apologies once again.
Yeah, we called her at the wrong time. It's like, Florida's big enough to have 2 time zones? Really?
When did that happen?
Hey, and one other thing before we go on with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners in Denmark by the name of Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
You probably have more snow than us, I'm sure.
If you ever do make it out here, Tanya, let us know.
Yeah, we'll show you around Florida.
All right. Well, before we get into everything else that's going on here in the state of Florida, just a quick reminder for you to please follow us on social media. You can look us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Find FL Podcast. You'll be able to follow our adventures in real time or look us up on YouTube using the full show name, Finding Florida Podcast, where we post behind the scenes footage. And there's a special live event happening soon. Glenn, please tell us all about the gift that will keep on giving for 12 live hours straight.
That's right. This Monday, the 26th of November, we're doing our 4th annual holiday radiothon for the Horse Radio Network. Mm-hmm. We start at 9 a.m. and end at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You and Pensacola are a little different. So we
Central Time, Pensacola, Central
we
Time.
do 12 hours live. We have 20 different hosts all day long. We have 20 different guests. We talk horses and the holidays all day. We have Mike Rowe's mom coming on this time. She's our leadoff special guest, and everybody knows who Mike Rowe is. Well, his mom's a big horse person and just wrote a book. She had a great time talking about her horses, so she'll be coming up on Monday. So we're looking forward to it. If you want to join us and check out what it is, if you have any interest in horses or a little bit of live fun, we're also giving away $4,000 in prizes, and you can find us at holidayradiothon.com.
It is a lot of fun, everybody. I got to see this firsthand behind the scenes last year for the first time, and I'm coming up to be part of it again this year. And it is 12 hours of just ridiculous horsey fun. So if you're into horses or just can't get enough of Glenn, it's ridiculous.
Jemmy has never answered so many phone calls in one day before ever in her life.
It is. Hundreds. And it's a crapshoot, people. I mean, just put that. It's so much fun. So check it out. Is it called holidayradiothon.com?
Yep, holidayradiothon.com.
Look at me remembering things. Look at me.
Yep.
Well, I have a little bit of a holiday surprise for you, Glenn. Real quick.
So I'm a little nervous.
So we have been begging, we have been pleading, and finally, someone out there answered the call. One of you picked up the phone, sent an email, posted on social media, sent a carrier pigeon, did whatever you had to do to finally get one of your friends to listen in South Dakota. Yay! we first put out the call on episode 9A for listeners, even just one listener in each for Wyoming or South Dakota. We just needed one in each, and those were the two holdout states. And on 13A, we finally found out we got one in Wyoming, and we still only have one, by the way, but it counts. And now on this episode, we got South Dakota. Glenn, we are
we're in all 50 now?
Being listened to in all 50 states. Yay! Happy early Christmas, Glenn.
And Denmark.
So exciting. Oh my gosh, that's just awesome. I'm very, very excited about all
hello
that.
To our one listener in South Dakota. May you stay warm for the entire winter.
Welcome to the family. It's a crazy, crazy ride, but you're going to enjoy it. So anyways, you're welcome for that wonderful little early Christmas gift, Glenn. And speaking of gifts, we're about to dive into our inaugural double dose of our list fix with great gifts by Floridians versus goofy gifts for Floridians. And we'll do so right after this. You are listening to the Florida Podcast Network, the voice of Florida. FPN is committed to promoting local brands and businesses through a network of podcasts celebrating the Sunshine State, and you can be a part of it. From sponsoring episode segments to creating and growing your own branded show, we have the solution to promote you while we promote Florida. Did you know that roughly 2/3 of podcast listeners of purchased products advertise on podcasts? We'll make it easy to showcase your brand through the power of podcasting. Our team has successfully worked with over 50 companies to help promote their brands. To take advantage of this growing advertising opportunity, target our niche audiences through ads and host-read commercial spots on individual episodes, sponsor a full feature segment on a particular episode, or contribute content to a show on a regular, ongoing basis. Make your brand part of the FPN family. Our podcasts attract listeners who celebrate the Florida lifestyle and support local brands, and listeners who want to travel here for their own fresh, fun experience. If that sounds like who you're trying to reach, with these options, you can be strategic while still reaching the largest share of our audiences. If you're interested in elevating your Florida brand and becoming part of the voice of Florida, head to floridapodcastnetwork.com/partner with us for more information, to download our media kit, and to reach out. The Florida Podcast Network, celebrating Florida one local brand at a time. Guess what time it is, Glenn?
What time is it?
It's time for us to find out more fun holiday stuff all around the rest of the state of Florida.
Ho, ho, ho!
Merry Christmas! Great Gifts by Floridians.
This episode, we are starting a new annual tradition, Great Gifts by Floridians versus Goofy Gifts for Floridians.
So let's start off with our Great Gifts by Floridians. Great Gifts by Floridians will be a short list of great gifts made right here in Florida and that are perfect for the holidays.
So you can give these out to friends who are far away and could use a taste of the tropics this holiday and make them really jealous. Or you can buy these in an effort to support local small businesses with your gift giving this holiday season.
These are real local, real Florida, and really cool, and I can't wait to share all of them. So let's start off finding a treat for the kids by chatting with Sarah Blaine of Sealed by Santa and My Palm Beach Box.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
All right. Well, first up, we have Sarah Blaine of Sealed by Santa and My Palm Beach Box. And Sealed by Santa is a great service that you can get for your kid to give some magic to the holidays for them. So I first heard about Sarah Blaine on The Shrimp Tank, which was a podcast that I also was a recent guest on. Then I heard her episode. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get her on. So I'm so excited to talk to Sarah. Sarah, please say hello to all of the listeners and welcome to the episode.
Thank you, and hello, and thank you for having me. I'm so excited that we were able to make this work, and especially that we're both past Shrimp Tank guests.
I know. So great. So shout out to Jason Hill and the whole crew over there at the Shrimp Tank. But yeah, so tell us all about Sealed by Santa. This was such a great idea.
What it is a letter from Santa Claus. So a user would go online to sealedbysanta.com and put in the child's information, and it's the name, the wish list items, accomplishments, and then what we do is we pack it with reindeer food, an ornament with a video message, and send it back to the child.
Oh my gosh.
So it's so fun, and we even actually have naughty letters. So
is it up to the parents to indicate whether or not the kid has been nice or naughty?
Yeah, and it's so funny because this year we are getting a lot of naughty letters. So there have been some tough kids, but this gives them the opportunity to still make it on the nice list. They have a month to get their act together.
I love it. So that's so cute. Funny. So I have to ask, I'm dying to know, what is reindeer food?
So reindeer food is a magical combination of oats and sprinkles that helps the reindeer find your house on Christmas Eve. So it's a really fun, interactive thing for the children. They go out on Christmas Eve and they sprinkle it outside, and it just helps the reindeer find their house in case they get a little lost.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, I mean, what a great idea. Fun. It sounds like there's so many different little details that are put in, from the child's name to their own personal accomplishments to talking, sprinkling in the ideas of being naughty versus being nice, and just all of these different little ways of with the reindeer finding the home based, using the food, and just all these little pieces of magic that you're sprinkling in. Why is Christmas seem like such a fun, magical time of year for you?
You know what? I have two little ones, and I just want to enjoy it to the fullest because they're not always going to want to spend all their time with me and, bake cookies and have hot chocolate. I mean, and another thing we do that's super fun is we do a night before Christmas kit. It has a whole kit for kids to interact with the whole meaning of all these fun things for Christmas and have the hot chocolate and do a Christmas activity and make a reindeer craft. But the cool thing about this kit is it comes with a secret parent pack for parents to put certain things out that Santa might have left to make the experience even more real.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
wow.
It's so fun.
It's very creative. So how does all of this work? Is there a website? How do the parents get involved and get this for their kids?
It's so easy. You can just go on Sealed, SEALED, sealedbysanta.com, and we actually have a coupon code right now for 20% off if you use the code Santa. And that's 20% off your entire purchase, which is kind of fun too. So.
Awesome. So we'll put those details in the show notes. So the coupon code, the promo code was Santa to get 20% off. So Sealed by Santa for the kids, and My Palm Beach Box for the adults. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for taking a couple minutes of your day to talk to us about these great gifts by you, a great Floridian.
Thank you. Thank you.
And our next great gift by Floridians is some very special wine that Glenn and I found at Webb's Candy Factory while we were traveling around for our 11th adventure. And this wine is made right here in Florida with actual real fruit. And we're excited to talk to the president of Florida Orange Groves Winery, Vincent R. Shook. Hi, Vince. How are you?
Well, I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So I remember when we found this wine at Webb's and we were looking at it and looking at the label, and I see a beautiful display of wine and I'm attracted like a moth to a flame. And so, and my co-host Glenn noticed something extra special about this wine, which is why I had to mention it and bring it up as a great gift. This wine is unlike most wines. Most wines, when they're fruit flavored, that's exactly what they are. They're flavored. Tell us about what makes your wines so special.
Well, ours are, as you say, they're not grape wine that has been flavored. Our wines are made 100% from the fruit that's indicated by the label. So, for example, if you're interested in our mango wine, that's made from 100% mango juice. Our key lime wine is made from 100% key lime juice. And so we make 43 different kinds, blackberry, raspberry, we have a lot of different tropicals, and they all are made to taste like the fruit that they're made from. So.
Wow. This sounds like the kind of groves that I would love to be in, mango and blackberry, and you're speaking my language, Vince.
Yeah, we also have a really good cranberry wine that we make right now. It goes really good with turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy for, Thanksgiving and Christmas traditional meals with, of that kind.
Well, that's extra great. I mean, we know the holidays are full of parties. Everyone's got a party to go to. What do you bring? Everyone wants to bring wine. Well, it sounds like that cranberry wine might be the way to go. This sounds perfect.
Yeah, we sell a lot of that for during the holidays and everything. And I always do now sell it with a caveat that, I remind people that, yes, it is wine and it does have 11% alcohol in it. And so don't come back the next day after Thanksgiving and complain that, the wine was packing a really good punch, because, you're not supposed to be drinking it like it was cranberry juice.
Right. It tastes like it's cranberry juice, I'm sure, but it is.
It does.
It is the real deal. So where can people find this wine if they want to give it as a gift, if they want to take it home for themselves? Where do they get this wine?
Well, the easiest place to find it is online, and we have a real easy to remember website address. It's, of course, www.floridawine.com. And we also have, if you go to the website there, and you can click on locations, and it might bring up a location where our wine is being sold that's close to you. If not, we are licensed to ship into most states in the United States, so we can ship direct to consumers if that's the only way to get it to you.
Well, awesome. Well, you have so many flavors that there is something out there for everybody to satisfy every taste and every flavor palette. And thank you so much, Vincent, for joining us today on our first ever inaugural version of the Great Gifts by Floridians list. Thank you so much, Vince.
Well, thank you for having me, and have a great and wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas season.
So next up on our Great Gifts by Floridians list, we have an old friend of mine, Jen Blissey. So if anybody's been following my podcast career for as many years as I've been doing it, and God bless you, what are you doing with your life if you are? But if you are, then you'll remember her from episode 63 of my old show, Curve the Cube, where she talked about all of her fuzzy woolen creations. And she is out of West Palm Beach, and she is the owner of Woolen by Jen B, and she makes the most cutest, most whimsical, lifelike creations out of wool. So Jen, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, it's so nice to be back on your podcast again. I really appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely. When I decided to do this Great Gifts list, I was like, I look at your things, your little animals, the creations that you make, and they're just lifelike. They're whimsical. They remind you of fairy tales, and I'm like, it's very magically, very magical, like the holidays. So I just think these make perfect gifts. Tell everybody what you make.
I needle felt wool and create sculptures out of sheep's wool. But yeah, I create these characters, these whimsical characters and fantastical sculptures out of sheep's wool.
And they're very lifelike. There's a story embedded in every single stitch. I mean, whether they're playing a musical instrument or just going about their day, being a horse. It's like there's something to, and you were saying before we started recording about, how fulfilling it is. And you see that you almost breathe like a life and a light into their eyes when you make these things. What's it like to see, to have an idea and then see it come to creation?
Well, this is the most fulfilling sculptural thing I've ever done. I've been doing this for about 6 years. And it's so much fun to create. Every single piece that I create gets the same amount of love and attention. Every detail that I do is perfectly placed, and the wool is I want to say respected in a way that you can really appreciate the texture and the color. And, there's a lot of work that goes into each and every one of these sculptures. But the thing that I'm most proud of when I'm creating these sculptures is the life that I bring to them. And typically the life happens in the last 5 minutes of my sculpture, when I'm just making sure that the eyes are looking right at you and that you really are getting a feeling of the soul when you're looking at these creatures that I'm creating.
It's almost like you're not just making, a dog. You're making that specific dog. You really are giving them a character. And that's what makes these such great gifts, because someone can have something made for someone that's very personal and reminds them of their own pet.
That's correct. I actually do a lot of pet portraits to celebrate the life of a dog or a cat. Even a lizard, but mostly dogs and cats.
So what's the process of getting these? Are they all custom pieces, or how does someone go about finding your creations and ordering one of their own for their own selves or for a gift for someone else?
Well, I do. I am on woolen.jinbee.com, which is WULLEN by jinbee.com, and Instagram and Facebook. But I always recommend to people that they stop into Artisans on the Ave in Lake Worth, just because you have to really it's really nice to go and just see them and hold them and just get a real sense of my style and my technique. And follow me on Instagram or follow my Facebook posts.
Awesome.
And private message me.
Yeah, I know when Glenn was down several months ago for one of our adventures, we were walking up, I decided to show him Lake Worth, and we were walking up down the avenue, and I'm like, oh, let's stop in here and check out this, it was that exact shop. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Glenn, see this over here? It's my friend Jin's. And it was actually this horse that you made, and he's a horse guy. He owns the Horse Radio Network. So he took a picture with it. He was impressed by how lifelike they are. So I just want to impress upon everybody, these things are very lifelike and just beautiful, and it's really impressive. You can see all the love that you have put into every stitch, and I just think they make such great gifts. So hope everyone goes out to Woolen, that's WULLENBYGINBEE.com, and we'll include all the links and information in the show notes as well. So thank you so much, Jen. It's been a pleasure, and congratulations for making the Great Gifts by Floridians list.
And happy holidays to everybody.
Absolutely.
Really have a great holiday season.
You too. So I have here the president of Davidson of Dundee. They do candy, they do jellies, they do chocolates, they do fruit, and they do it well. They do it like America should. So Thomas Davidson, welcome to the podcast. Tell us, please, all about Davidson of Dundee.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Jamie. We're a small citrus candy factory. We do chocolates, coconut patties. We also manufacture marmalades and jellies and butters. And we're on Highway 27 in the big town of Dundee, Florida, right? Which I'm sure, Jimmy, you're thinking, now, wait a minute. With Dundee, that's right between Tampa and Orlando, right near Legoland.
Right in there, yeah. Yeah, so go to Legoland and then get some sweet treats at Davidson of Dundee on your way.
That's right. Absolutely.
So, we found your jellies, and we were on a road trip. We were out there a couple of months ago in Orlando. We were up there for the Florida Restaurant Lodging Association show, and we were staying at a resort, and they had this little grocery store right there as part of the resort. And I walk in, I'm like, what is this beautiful display of yummy looking, delicious, beautiful candies? And it was jelly jars, and they were just I literally took a picture and put it on Instagram. I was like, this is just gorgeous. The packaging is beautiful, but tell us about the history and the taste and the quality and the tradition that goes into each and every bite.
Well, sure. Yeah, Jimmy, back in the early 1900s, my grandfather and grandmother owned orange groves in the Dundee area, mainly Dundee, Winter Haven, Lakeland, Lake Wales, and Haines City. And then when my father was growing up, my grandmother made citrus candies, and he certainly enjoyed that. And of course, that's being made with orange juice or grapefruit juice or tangerine juice. And then my father started his own little candy factory and marmalade factory down here in Dundee in 1966.
And things haven't changed much since then, have they? In fact, you were telling me a funny story before we started recording about how a reporter thought that the factory that everything is made in was a recreation, but it's the actual authentic copper kettles and everything, isn't it?
Jimmy, she was just amazed and wondered that it must have cost a fortune to make it look so retro. But I said, well, no, this is actually the same factory, much of the same equipment that we were using back in the 60s.
Absolutely.
So the interesting thing is these recipes are from the late 1800s and early 1900s. So that makes it pretty interesting as well. And I know my parents were always sticklers on those old-fashioned recipes being so good, and don't change them, don't try to modernize them, and keep everything as natural and delicious. And I think they were right. It's hand-cut, hand-cooked, hand-poured, still copper kettles and wooden paddles,
That's
Jimmy.
amazing.
So it's still old-fashioned.
Well, that's what the holidays do. They usher in a time of nostalgia and togetherness and family traditions. And it just sounds like that is all embedded right there into everything that you do with your products. And then on top of that, the holidays are also about chocolate, and you guys make some really good chocolate. And so these are great gifts, whether someone's in the mood for chocolates or citrus candies or whatever, you can buy some of this stuff and bring it to your next party, housewarming gift, holiday gift, or send it off to someone, and people can actually order things online. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it's at davidsonofdundee.com, and we have free shipping available now, so that makes it nice as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's and of course at the factory we're open every day from 9 until 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And we give tours all day long, Jimmy, and then of course we have the samples available right after that. And of course, there's no charge for any of that.
Is there a
eat all the
limit
samples
on how
that
many
you'd like.
tours you can go through? Oh, okay. That was the
No,
answer to my question.
you
There's
can
no
have
limit.
all
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes, you can tell Country Boy Glenn he can have all the samples he wants.
And he will definitely take you up on that answer. Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Well, it's been a real pleasure. So I hope everyone goes out and goes to davidsonofdundee.com and gets some awesome, delicious treats. They're a tradition here in Florida, and now they can be a tradition with your family. Thank you so much, Tom.
I'm going to have to send jars of marmalade down to you.
Oh, well.
Of course, we've got 103 flavors, so whether that would be key lime jelly or guava jelly or honeybell marmalade or coconut butter, whatever you'd like.
I will send you, that will be my Christmas list to you. I will send it to you. Too sweet. Thank you so much, Tom.
Sure enjoyed it. Thank you, Jenny.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Holy moly! Merry Christmas!
Goofy Gifts for Floridians.
So those were our great gifts by Floridians. So add those all to your Christmas list this year. And in Goofy Gifts for Floridians, we'll go through some funny items I found around the internet that may just be the perfect gag gift for your Floridian friends. And Glenn, I'm going to have you try to name that price with these, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So first up, fans of Publix will appreciate this one. Publix makes awesome French bread. Well, did you know that they sell one of those wrist pads you use for your computer to support your wrist that looks like a baguette? They sell those online.
That makes me hungry the whole time I'm working.
It looks like a big old piece of bread on your desk. How much do you think that goes for, Glenn?
$12.95.
Very close. It's $12.99. You were so
I got
close.
it. I think that
ding,
counts.
Ding,
That's
ding. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I can
All
be on
right.
The Price is Right.
Okay, so this one is
What do I win?
You win some respect. Okay, next up. Not a lot, just a little. So next up, we have our gun ice trays. That's right. It's ice trays you can freeze in the shape of a gun. It says make ice cubes, chocolates, or Jell-O with this fun mold. And it's literally called, guess what it's called, Glenn?
Gun ice?
It's called freeze.
Oh, makes sense. I'm going to guess $10.
Oh my gosh, you are on a roll. It's $9.99.
Yeah, look at me go.
No.
By the way, I have a friend who has that.
Oh, really? So the same site also has, you can get, after you make a drink with your gun ice, and if your breath is a little off, it actually sells these little mint tins that are in the shape of shotgun shells. How much do you think the mint tins cost, Glenn?
$4.95.
Very close, $3.99. You're nailing it. Wow.
I know my crappy gifts.
So if you want to show up to the party as the best dressed, most functional talk of the town costume you can find, dress up as a happy Santa and wear a Santa cap that has a bottle cap opener at the end of it instead of the little fuzzy white ball. It's a bottle cap opener. Glenn, how much do you think a Santa hat with a bottle cap opener will run you?
That has to be $19.95.
Ah, see, no, you're losing your steam. It's only $13.99. It is a bargain basement price. Okay. All right, so this gift I
don't
love.
think that's setting a great example for the kids. So I'm just going to throw that in.
Probably not drunk Santas in the house.
No.
So this is perfect for people like my father who love playing golf. So this is another double gift here, and we're going to start off with the main attraction. It is called Potty Golfing. That is right. Practice putting while on the pot. Add a second hole to your bathroom. Practice your strokes for birdies or eagle. And it includes the green carpet, the cup, and the flag, and the putter. What do you think? A golfing set you can use while you're
tiny
sitting
little
on the
putter?
kitty. Yep.
Yeah.
A little novelty putter.
Because you're sitting on the toilet, you can't use a big one.
How much do you think this lovely, lavish set costs you?
I don't think this is a great idea, by the way. So it's been way too much time.
Don't slip and fall and land on that putter the wrong way.
I'm going with $24.95.
Again, this one's a steal at just $8.75. You can practice golf on the can all day long.
It is.
And if you want to add an extra joke to the whole situation, they actually sell exploding golf balls.
I was just going to say exploding golf ball.
You can set up an exploding golf ball to really capture your friend at their most vulnerable point. How much do you think an exploding golf ball would be to add to your golf ball potty set? Very close, $4.99. You are nailing it, Glenn. Here we go. We have two books here. First one is a peopleofwalmart.com adult coloring book. How much do you think this would run you? It is the official adult coloring book, by the way, from peopleofwalmart.com.
Is it all? It's got to have a lot of plumber's butts in it.
Probably.
I'm going to go with $9.95.
Oh, again, very
it's
close.
Walmart.
Yeah, $10.80.
Yeah.
But then at Walmart, it's probably like half that.
Yeah, like $5. It's in the $5 bin with all of the videos nobody buys anymore.
Right. And so the other book on the list is probably my favorite item on this whole entire Goofy gift list. All right, it is the White Trash Cooking Book 25th Anniversary Edition, Spiral Bound. It says, a quarter century ago, while many were busy embracing the sophisticated techniques and wholesome ingredients of the Nouvelle Cuisine, one Southern loyalist lovingly gathered more than 200 recipes collected from West Virginia to Key West, showcasing the time-honored cooking and hospitality traditions of the White Trash Way.
Is this a real thing?
200 recipes. Yes, it's a real thing.
And they've had 24 previous ones?
I don't know how many additions have happened in that 25 years, but who knows? I don't know. Do the White Trash people, do they change their recipes often? I don't know.
Does every recipe include hot dogs?
Hot dogs and beer cans, yes.
Oh, it has oven-baked possum.
You're not supposed to look it up. You're supposed to guess the price.
Oh, deep-fried crackling corn pone. Well, that sounds fancy.
All right. So do tell the people. Do reveal the answer. What is the price on that thing,
I didn't even look. I was just looking at the recipes.
Oh.
It's got to be like $4.
No. This one's the pricey one. This is actually the most expensive item on the entire list, coming in at a whopping $15.72.
Oh, good Lord. Look at the woman on the cover. Oh, jeez. They got every redneck stereotype they can get there.
And we can't leave the kitties off the list. There's one last little item for them. Did you ever use to play with those little wind-up toys, Glenn?
Yes.
Okay, so
the little cars and little things.
Yeah, well, these isn't cars. This isn't wind-up teeth or whatever else that you've seen out there. No, this is better than that. So one thing Florida's known for, we're known for a lot of things. Oranges, Florida man, alligators. We're also known for our old people. Gotta love them. So this is actually a matching set of racing grannies. That's right.
Are they in wheelchairs? Please tell me they're in wheelchairs.
They have walkers.
Oh, even better.
So how much do you think?
You think they saw them at the Village's gift shop?
Of racing grannies cost you?
I'm going to say one racing granny or two?
Two. It's a double pack. You gotta race them. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with $9.95.
Nope. This was a close second to the White Trash Cooking Book at $15.51. You can get your own set of racing grannies and their walkers. Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. I can't even put it into words. Well, thanks for coming along with us once again as we are finding Florida. Oh, I'm going to get it together in a minute. Wow, this crazy gifts. But anyways, we hope this episode has given you some great ideas on fun holiday stuff to go out and do and great or goofy gift items for your loved ones. There's just so much to do in Florida for the holidays, despite the warmer temperatures, and you just got a sneak peek into some of the kind of fun that we'll be getting into on our holiday adventure episode, which will be coming out next in a couple of weeks.
We'll be checking out some bright lights, some sweet treats, and an enchanted forest. And Jimmy's been talking about this since I met her, and she's promised to show me this year, and it's a 700-ton sand tree.
It's a real thing, and it's amazing. It's a thing of beauty.
I know, but I've never seen it because you haven't taken me yet.
Respect.
So. In the meantime, is her name really Sandy Tree?
It's really Sandy Tree.
In the meantime, go back and listen to our recent episode, 13C. If you missed it, it's a look back at our whole first year of adventures, all the stops, interviews, challenges, food, and a few broken bones. And we hope that the rest of 2018 is bright and full of love, magic, and adventure for you all. In 2019, we'll try and keep the show on the road, having been invited to Sun in the Fun International Fly-In and Expo. I'm so excited in Lakeland.
I know. You can't stop talking about it.
Can't wait. Heading back to eat our way through Tampa Bay. I hate the food episodes. It's so tiring.
Oh, it's just such a drag.
It's just work. Finally checking out some horsey attractions. You're coming to Ocala. I'm making you come up here and we're going to do Ocala.
Yes, I'm excited. excited.
Yeah, the horse things happen in the winter, so we kind of had to wait till winter. Right. So you're going to be coming up, and you're going to be showing you around my world.
Yeah, we decided last winter instead to go to Daytona and break some ribs.
That's right.
This is a much better plan. Man. But yeah, the planning for next year's calendar is definitely underway, and we can't wait for us to bring you, our listeners, along as well. And with every episode, you can find our pictures, videos, and other updates on social media. Just head to findingfloridapodcast.com for all the links and search for Find FL Podcast. And remember to join our group of Florida Podcast Network enthusiasts on Facebook by looking up FPN Insiders. Share your own Florida holiday picks with us in there.
And by the time Christmas comes around and you're driving to Grandma's house for some gifts and some food, we will have our episode 14B out, and you can take a listen to it on the way. And you'll find our last adventure when I set up a surprise stop for Jemmy. We tried a bigger burger than you would ever imagine, and we celebrated our anniversary at Oktoberfest. Yeah. You can go back and take a listen to that if you missed it as well. But for now,
here's to your holidays.
And here's to your next Florida adventure.